All right, blue-red wizard. So the last couple of times we've played this archetype, it's felt like it was a little bit mediocre version of Drake's. That being said, this build has a couple different things going on now and new tools. We gained Biomancer here, which is an additional 1 mana threat that's very powerful. We also have Light Up the Stage as a way to generate some additional card advantage as we churn through our deck. You'll note that there's no copies of Spell Pierce or Counter Magic in our main deck. One of the reasons, there's two reasons for that. The first is we kind of just want to be as proactive as possible game one to kind of have this aggro racing deck type setup. The second is that hitting a Spell Pierce or a Dive Down or something like that off Light Up the Stage is kind of mediocre, right? We want all of our cards in our deck to be as proactive as possible with this, so we're not hitting blanks basically with this card. Siren Stormtamer is interesting. It's possible that card could be good. Let's dive in here. One of the considerations that is a little bit awkward with this build potentially is the fact that we have both a 1 mana red card and a 1 mana blue card can be a little bit difficult on the mana base. We have to have equal numbers. Whereas if we put in Stormtamer, we could potentially have all blue 1-drops, which makes it easier to cast them consistently on one. I'm definitely going to keep this on the draw. I've got Biomancer here, plus an Opt. Someone asked about Curious Obsession. I don't know that this deck has enough evasive threats in it to leverage Curious Obsession consistently. Also, the fact that I just talked about us not having, what's it called? The fact that we don't have copies of, like, Spell Pierce to protect our creature makes that a little bit worse as well. I'm about to get counterspelled and miss my land drop, aren't I? Brutal. That's a big one. Woof. Ugh. Probably dead. They don't have a land, which means they have 3 spells in their hand. We've not played Vanasphere in Modern. Gross. Gross. Alright, well, next turn is going to be a Shock plus Wizard's Lightning turn. That trade there seems pretty good for us. If they don't have a way to protect this Tempest Shin, and we get to burn it out here, we might actually be able to... Nope, JK, LOL. Alright, so... I can attack with this. During their upkeep, I'm going to play Trickster and diddle the Tempest Shin. And then if I draw a red source next turn, I can go Shock, Lightning Shock. Oh, that just kills me. Yes, it does. Got it. Dead to the onboard trick. Didn't really have a play to not be dead to the onboard trick, though, so eh. Terramando Terramander and Bant Flash is an interesting idea. I don't hate that. I think I just want max removal in this matchup. Probably just cut Charter Course. Don't need the velocity, just want to kill their stuff. Please remember, if you want to drop a comment on the deck that we're playing, be constructive, be specific. Offer suggestions for changes we could make and why they're good. If you think something's bad, make sure you talk about why it's bad. If you're not sure how to do that, the stream rules have wonderful examples in them. Which game mode is effective for expanding your collection? The credit card game mode extends your collection at a rate which no other game mode can compare. It can unlock the entirety of the format in like less than an hour. I'll have a full article detailing the SCG results. On Cool Stuff Inc. tomorrow. Or SCG on Cool Stuff Inc. dealing SCG rolls. Yeah, I used my words. My words happened correctly there. All right, let's opt and then shock this so I attack for 2. It's called the Visa game mode. That's not true. I use the Discover card because it gives me more cash back. This stream's in no way sponsored or endorsed by Discover, but Discover, if you're out there, it certainly could be. I think that's just nonsense, Ostin. That's like saying any deck that's not a late game deck automatically has to be bad. I agree that this deck doesn't have the late game power of Drake's, but it's playing a lower curve and it's trying to get under it. You could write off whatever you want and say, oh, this aggro deck is bad. You're basically said like the aggro deck's bad because it's not a mid-range deck. Why play this over mono red? Instead of me telling you why I'd play this over mono red, why don't you tell me why you'd play mono red over this? Yeah, Stormtamer over Pyromancer is interesting. The fact that Stormtamer's evasive seems fantastic. I think that's probably a worthwhile change. Like, we're kind of tight on mana in a lot of these games too, so I want to play a couple of matches with the Biomancers, but I think there's a good chance that they're worse than Stormtamer because not only of the evasion, but also the protection Stormtamer can offer. Fatal Seraph, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I have no idea what rewards are applied to Arena in which way. I do not play Arena for prizes. I play Arena to play Magic. God bless Fish Lamp. So I'm putting a stop here during my attacker step. And the reason why I'm doing this is before they go to blockers, I'd like to kill their thing. I really wish they took PayPal. I think I actually used PayPal. I think you're right, and they didn't take Discover. I'm pretty sure I used PayPal the last couple times I bought cards. It's been a hot second, though. I'm pretty confident they take PayPal. I definitely don't have a Visa or Discover, or a Visa or MasterCard, so like I only have Discover and PayPal. I mean, we don't have that many instants and sorceries, right? We have 20, I guess we have 21. Yeah, Pteramander could be interesting too, even though it's off theme. I don't know, I feel like I'd want Siren Stormtamer for protecting, like, my Azistal on occasion. How do you pay at places that don't take Discover? I don't know, do those exist in 2019? Like, Subway was one of, like, the last major holdouts that didn't take Discover, and, that's like, I don't know. I order it on Amazon instead. They tell me they don't take Discover. I pull up my cell phone and I order whatever I was gonna buy in the store on Amazon instead to prove a point. Like, listen, take money however people want to give you money, okay? Don't be, that's my number one. When people ask me how do I prefer they give me money, my answer is always the same. Whichever way is easiest for you. Heck, I've got a P.O. box if you even want to send me a money order. Like, I will. Like, you know. Make it easy for the people that want to pay you for your goods or service to pay you. Do you accept barter? Oh, we've bartered before. Heck, people, if you're a sub and you want to barter to put decks in the queue, you'll help VOD stamp some videos on YouTube. You'll get decks in the queue for that. If we send a donation to your P.O. box, would you read it on stream? Definitely. Definitely. Because you asked, certainly. Discover definitely takes a larger cut, and that's why some people don't take it. But that's just the cost of doing business. Like, PayPal is a miserable company to take money through because they handle things like chargebacks in a miserable manner. But I still take PayPal because it's convenient for people to give me money through. It's just a cost of operating as a small business, basically. I'm gonna pass here and try and eat this inside of combat with a Merfolk Trickster, I think. This takes flying off their thing. And if they burn a counterspell on my Merfolk Trickster, I think that's a win for me. Essence Capture is really sweet. This is a solid upgrade for this archetype. I'm gonna shock this now while they're tapped out, and then play this Pyromancer. My schedule is always one Magic Online League in the morning and then Arena for the remainder of the day. If you're ever confused as to what my schedule is going to be in case there's a change, you can find it on my website, including what formats and what game modes I'm playing on which days. Do my best to stay organized. I'm going to play this Pyromancer, and then I'm going to try and Trickster this inside of combat to double block it. And remember, if you miss my MTGO League every morning and that's the kind of content you enjoy, you can always find the replays on my YouTube channel. Again, I'm intentionally playing this inside of combat once they've attacked, because I'd like to remove flying from this. Yikes! Well, that ain't the biggest punish around. Pulling this out of Lava Coil range is huge. That's super brutal. What's my tier 1 deck currently? Like my favorite competitive deck? I really like Blue-Green Climb. That's the deck that I've been enjoying playing the most that also feels very competitive. Although I think all of the decks that are listed on my website under standard decks are reasonable choices. Black-White Angel's also been good. I have about 1,000 Cinder pretzels I can pay you. And listen, these things are delicious, but they are not cheap. If you want to pay me in Cinder pretzels, we can work something out, okay? We actually have a 2-turn clock here, so we're just racing here reasonably. The Gates deck yesterday did feel good. I need to get some artwork done so I can put the Gates deck on my website. So I'm dead in 2 to this, so I need to draw a removal spell here. Any burn spell, please. Yikes. So dead. That's a close game. It's worth noting here that if this Biomancer had been a Stormtamer, we would have been able to block and win that game, right? Hey, thanks for the $5 tip. I appreciate it. Relatively new to the stream, and I absolutely love it. Keep putting the haters in their place. Would love to see Abzan Control move up the queue. That's perfect. Just if you're just bumping a deck in the queue, listing the archetype is fine, Crazy Duck. Thanks for the tip, and I'll get that bumped after the stream sun today. I'm gonna make that swap. I'm gonna put Stormtamers in over this. Yeah, for people asking why I didn't play this in Adapt, you don't get to keep the card. It just draws and then discards. I like the evasion on Stormtamer, and I like that it can protect this later. If you wanted to pay me in fast food gift cards, we can work that out too. Listen, I eat enough Panera to make that happen. Panera and Chipotle gift cards, we can talk, okay? I've actually added decks to the queue for Chipotle gift cards before. I do not accept Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not easy to convert into a thing that feeds me or pays my bills. Bitcoin is tedious to turn into things that actually give me money. Sounds good, Bear. Hey, random number god. Bantfog's actually going to be the very next deck we're playing today. So if you'd like to bump something up that's in the queue, I'd be happy to do that. But Bantfog's actually going to be up right after this. The remainder of today is going to be Bant Day, as someone just commented in chat. I wonder if I'm supposed to wait to play this until I can protect it with the Stormtamer. It worked! It definitely did. Thank you for the 500 random number god. You like Niv Mizzet? Should you craft Jeskai Control or Grixis Dragons? I think from a pure power level standpoint, Sparkles, that Jeskai Control's probably the better deck. I think both the decks are doing something interesting, but I think Jeskai has a wider range of answers that makes it a little bit more flexible overall. I'm gonna cast Opt now, because I might draw a 1-mana creature. I guess I should have played that pre-combat, huh? Yikes. Mistakes were made. I'm actually just gonna hold on to this now, because I don't want them to Kaya's Wrath or Deafening Clarion on me. You can always find the deck list that I'm currently playing in the Stream Decker widget that's on my screen, or in the deck cube. Alright. Alright, so I get to play this. I get to lightning this. I get to shock this. I get to double Lava Runner and attack for 5. Yeah, the Grixis deck is definitely more proactive, Sir Sparkles, but I think the Jeskai just is like a little bit higher average card quality. You're a Viv short in the UG Climb sideboard. Any suggestions? Something for the control matchup. Do you have a spare Carnage Tyrant? Either play another way to dunk on control, basically. Oh, they're playing 4-color hero. That's awesome. Kinda sad that I don't have an instant. If I had an instant or sorcery to cast here, we would dumpster them this turn. Really sad that we don't. No, the American government opened back up on a trial basis. It's funded for like the next 3 weeks or something silly. I think I'm actually going to hold these back because I don't want to trade them for these 1/1s while I have this in play that could potentially make these bigger. Worth noting here that this being evasive was relevant this turn, getting an extra points of damage, but if it could adapt, it would have been able to loot us into a spell potentially. Our government is currently in closed beta. It's funny because it's sad.
They're statistically likely to fail.
I think we're dead, right? I assume they're going to end step deploy here. I bet we're gonna see end step deploy. Yeah. Yikes. Yikes. The gain 9 is the real loss. The real loss is the fact that they gained 9. For those of you out there thinking, man, the opponent's deck is way sweeter than Jeff's, you are correct. You can find a video of us playing the opponent's deck on my website and my YouTube channel. It's for the 4-color hero deck. It's really awesome. Is it another matchup where I just want to max on removal? I think it is. Like trim the charter courses again. I have to take hero off the table immediately, otherwise it just like runs away with the game, right? The opponent had a Goblin Electromancer in play, which makes all their instants and sorceries cost 1 less mana. You're not wrong, Kikaru. We've covered a wide range of stuff. Like in the first week after the format, we played like 50 decks almost. Pestilence Spirit and Radiant Lightning better than Chain Whirler and status? Probably not. Chain Whirler's like a pretty high quality card on its own, which is one of some of the appeal of it. Liked my tweet while streaming. I feel like that should be a big ghost card. It's going on, Stinger. I wouldn't, for reference, Stinger, I've already blocked that person that you're responding to because they seem like they're a horrible human being. So, I appreciate your message there, but you're probably mostly wasting your breath. So keep in mind that not everything goes on my website under the standard decks tab. I should probably put a note up there about this because I say it a lot on stream. The standard decks page is a hand curated page. If you want a list of actual everything that I've played on stream, you need to click videos and then the format that you want. So video standard has every standard deck that I play on stream. Videos modern, every modern deck, etc. So it's worth noting here that Light Up the Stage plus this card is a little bit of a non-bow, right? Like, because this card makes me want to wait to do stuff, and this card makes me want to do it proactively, which is a little bit awkward. Yeah, the website decks are decks, the decks that get their own pages are decks that I think feel powerful and are interesting enough to call people's attention to. So really want to draw a blue source next turn so I can go Pyromancer plus Trickster. Awkward. Yeah, all of the pages on my website are living pages. I update them as changes happen to the format. So all of the decks that are there are updated regularly. When we play one of those decks on stream and I feel like we should make changes to it, when the stream finishes for the day, I update them on my website. There is a bot command for my Stream Decker page, Hodor. People are mostly helpless. And like, you could put infinite bot commands in and people would still come in and ask questions, because that's just how it works. So I could push for lethal here, but I think I'd rather just Pyromancer. Like this plus this is 4 plus 3 is... Oh, I'm 1 off lethal, actually, right? Because this is 4 and 3. Was one off lethal there. And it's important to play the Vanisho, because that card's going to go away. Hey, Neil Drax, thanks for re-upping that Twitch Prime for the 5th month in a row. There's a lot of great people you can ship those Bezo bucks to every month here, and I appreciate you shipping them my way today. Nah, shocking before damage is better here because it puts them to 1 in case they can counterspell the shock. Boros Angels is fine, but I think on average it's just a little bit worse than playing Black-White Angels, because Black-White Angels has better tools for attacking control decks. This, Hodor. So, like, literally there's a command there and you just don't know about it. That command's always been there. It's Dex and an S at the end. Gets a link to everything. I think I have the new Bezo Bucks emote turned out really well. Thought about doing a podcast or other kind of long form content. There's a very direct relation to like how much I stream on Twitch versus how many followers and viewers and subs that I get. So like taking time out to make content that's not helping my Twitch stream is like kind of a waste of energy. Like the investment to return ratio is worse. So like, rather than spend time doing something like a podcast, I'd rather just spend more time streaming. Yeah, I might replace, I'm gonna make notes. I should put 4-color gates on the site, and I should replace, so 4-color gates on the site, and replace white-red aggro with Jeskai aggro, because they're very similar, right? I don't want both of those up there, but the Jeskai aggro is sweeter. Yeah, there's also loads of good Magic podcasts, right? Sand's very good. It's got a threat, it's got a removal spell, it's got some card advantage, it's got our top-end bomb. And again, we see light up the stage being like a touch awkward here, right? Like, I want to play a spell pre-combat so this gets bigger, but this makes me want, I'm going to keep that Wizard Lightning, but this makes me want to do it post-combat so I can deal damage to them. Yeah, the Jeskai aggro deck is really, I really feel like Dovin solves a problem that deck had, which is like all I'm really looking to do in life is solve problems. So I think I Wizard Lightning here, and then I'm going to hit them with this and light up the stage. I think I like the Electromancer, just really scary if they keep it for a couple of turns. Jeff, you're my favorite streamer, not just because of excellent magic, but you're a good person. I try to be a good person at least. Fallsburg, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Flying Dump Truck, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month, folks. Alright, so I think I start by checking out my options here, because if I find a Shock or Wizard Lightning, I want to kill this. God, that's so awkward. Alabama fan, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of people you can give that to every month. Thanks for shipping it my way here. I think I just bought him this. Yeah, my options. You get it. You get it. So I assume they're not going to block here. Blocking would be incredibly loose. Please block. Please, please block. Rats. Rats! They saw the line, chat. I guess we're gonna have a good turn next turn, right? I'm gonna go Zizdal plus Wizard Lightning and pump up the entire team. Depends on how many cantrips they have this turn. This card makes a 1/1 flying token every time they cast an instant or sorcery. Please get aggressive so I can kill you. Please get aggressive so I can kill you. A Dizdal, I don't know, whatever this card's name is, okay? Listen, chat, if you wanted to hear people pronounce things phonetically correctly, you've ended up in the very wrong Twitch channel, okay? Dunk, 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 dunk. Alright, I get to shock this in to protect her with one of these. If they go land, 2-mana spell, plus heroic, we could die there. I think that game was a really good example of some of the power of what this deck is doing. Also, like, hats off to Siren Stormtamer again there. The fact that it was evasive was very, very good. How are we doing, folks? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you are someone who enjoys standard best of 3 constructed, this is definitely the channel for you. That's basically all we play here on Arena. As always, I'd like to give a shout out to my wonderful subscribers. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. They are quite literally the folks that keep me employed. Past my subs, I'd like to give a shout out to some of my sponsors here as well. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series is a $5,000 cash tournament every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, be sure to check out their streaming coverage at twitch.tv/NRG series as well. Hey, STOD Music, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars. Using code Hoagland at bit.ly/HoagleBar, you can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. And of course, BCW Supplies would love to help you protect your very valuable Magic the Gathering cards. They do sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic stuff. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoagland. You know, there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you choosing to spend part of your Tuesday here with us. We are heading on in to our next match with this Blue-Red Wizards deck to see how things can go. Lots of great constructed content here. Complimentary monthly timeout. I got you, Jug. Thanks for the third of a year. Welcome back. Today is honorary Bant Day. After we finish this deck for sure. This hand's great. I'm just gonna be like mono red with a draw 2. Glad to catch a live one. I appreciate the YouTube uploads. Welcome to a live one, Whipstone. Thanks for dropping in. Does BCW do online security protect your Arena cards? Does Arena do 2-factor authentication? Does anybody know? Is that a thing? I feel like that should be a thing if it's not. It definitely should be a thing. Of course not, it's WotC. I mean, at least it's not Magic Online where people can, like, take your account and sell all your cards for money, right? It's borderline criminal that Magic Online doesn't do 2-factor in this day and age. Bits for Bant, no deck to be bumped. I got you, J-Rock. Thank you for the support. Alright, that's a little bit awkward. Because I want to play a red source here to play this out. But I guess next turn I can go Island Vanisho, which is not the worst. Does not have 2-factor. Woof. Alright, drawing a Wizard's Lightning here is actually sweet. Because getting to play another spell along with my Vanisho here means I can go ahead and give these an extra point of power, which is great. I think 4 Wizard Lords is important. Like, the Wizard Lord is a card that's, like, so good you, like, always want to have it. Arena has risk factor, not 2 factor. It's funny because it's sad. I think because I drew a land here, I'm just gonna go ahead and chart a course. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot that we were supposed to do Wall of Roots today. I totally forgot, McCullough. We'll have to do it tomorrow. I completely forgot. It's had a crazy, things have just been insane since Arena and everything took off. Wall of Roots, yep. They didn't fix Wall of Roots. So today, to talk about quality software, today is the 3-year anniversary of the day they bugged one of the cards that Kiki Cord plays. Who doesn't love 3-year anniversary? Originally I intended to play Kiki Cord this morning, and then I forgot. So I think because I have so many lands, I'm actually gonna wait to play this Shock, because if I draw an Azizdel, it could trigger that. I think we have a command still, right? Yeah, Roots Bug, look at that. That command is almost 3 years old. Gotta play this now, otherwise it's going away. Bant Flash is just one of my favorite archetypes to play. I really love decks that play out at instant speed. Although we played an Esper Flash deck recently that also felt pretty good.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
I got some excellent timing for you upstairs.
Let's skip to the good part.
Hope your hand is double absorb, opponent. Haha! Woohoo! Alright, this is definitely a Spell Pierce matchup. Is this a Lightning Strike out matchup? I think this is a Lightning Strike out matchup. I think I'm just going to swap the Lightning Strikes for Spell Pierces. So, this is definitely an Experimental Frenzy matchup too. I really don't like Banefire in decks like this, and I should probably swap it out of the sideboard for this reason. Decks like this just don't play enough lands consistently to make a card like Banefire be meaningful, in my opinion. I think I'm gonna trim a Merfolk Trickster because the text on it isn't very good. Yeah, we've got a lot in our sideboard for a matchup like this. I agree. You want to cut up Light the Stage? I don't think drawing 2 is really good here. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. I guess playing actual counterspell is good against the control deck too. All right, I'll buy that for $1. I'm gonna trim a Shock as well. This card's just like also not great with Experimental Frenzy. Which deck do I think is the most fun? Bant Flash, I answered your question already. Thank you for the biddies, McCullough, will do. This standard format is the best form of Magic, the best format of Magic I have ever played, ever. It is very, very good. In my opinion, it generates much more, in my subjective opinion, which is redundant. I would like to state that I am aware that saying subjective opinion is redundant, but I say subjective opinion because I've been doing this long enough that when I don't say subjective opinion, whenever I give an opinion that people don't like, people are always like, but Jeff, that's subjective. Yeah, of course it's subjective. It's my opinion. All right, anywho, in my subjective opinion, the quality of gameplay that this format generates is superior to all other constructed formats. The back and forth, the variety of decks that exist in it, it's got a lot going on that's good for it. The internet doesn't know that opinions are subjective. They really don't a lot of the time. Whoa! I got, it makes that, like, that's the second anonymous set of sub gifts today. Who is it? Who's giving us who's giving out anonymous candy? It doesn't even tell me, chat. I don't even get to know.
Now what?
Welcome to all the new subs. There's shovels in the corner. The 3-month subs will direct you to where the trenches need to be dug. Must be Watsy. Oh. What are your top 5 formats of all time? My top 5 formats of all time are this current format, Standard during RTR and Standard during RTR Innistrad, Modern before they banned Birthing Pod, Modern before they banned Splinter Twin. That's 4. I'm only gonna give you 4. Legacy before they printed True Name Nemesis. That's 5. So 2 standard formats and then 2 iterations of Modern and 1 Legacy. What does Hoogle Rant look like? The audio's not getting public yet. We got about a half hour before that happens. Don't ask questions. I'm not. Yeah, RTR was my favorite standard format before this one. Spherical Man, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, current Modern. The current Modern format, in my subjective opinion, is the worst Modern format I have ever played. And that's speaking as someone who's played Modern very heavily since 2013. My one and only Grand Prix top 16 is from a Modern Grand Prix in 2013. No, I think it's worse than Eldrazi Winter, Pikes. In my opinion, I enjoyed playing during Eldrazi Winter more than I enjoy playing Modern at the moment. At least during Eldrazi Winter, the games were mid-rangey a lot of the time. Eldrazi Winter had a lot of big board states and stuff like that. Phyrexian Manatithe doling out some sub-gifties. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, there's still, I don't dislike everything about the current Modern format. There are decks that I think are good and are fun to play, but as a whole, I think the format's very mediocre right now. I don't think they're going to improve Modern. Ian Duke and Aaron Forsyth have both made statements that they think Modern as is incredibly healthy, which means they're happy with what it looks like and it's never going to change. Eldrazi Winter was the last time Kiki Cord was tier 2. It's funny because it's true. Kiki Cord, if you were a good Kiki Cord player, you could beat bad Eldrazi players, which was all I wanted to do in life, really. And, like, because the Eldrazi games are so mid-rangey, you generally could leverage your play skill. They should unban a lot of things in Modern. I don't want to talk about unbanning Modern. Let's focus on Standard. Standard's awesome. Let's just focus on the good format. This hand is a little bit speculative, but it has the potential to be very good here. All right, red source, please. Another dual land, please. Yikes. All right, we've been caught with our hand in the cookie jar, chap. All right, that's a good draw. I agree, Pikes. I think it's embarrassing that they banned KCI and left the rest of the format the same that it is. I think singling out KCI as the one degenerate thing that's not okay to be doing in Modern is stupid and absurd. It's comical to me that they would single out KCI as the thing that's not okay with all the other crap that goes on in Modern. If I opted before I attacked, I wouldn't be able to hold up Wizard's Retort, which was my goal by waiting. I'm also waiting to play this until I can Wizard's Retort to counter their Absorb. I don't want anything changed in Modern. I just want to play Standard. I just want to play Standard. There are plenty of people who really like Modern how it is. Just leave it alone. It's okay if I don't like Modern on average how it is and other people don't. Like, not every format of Magic has to appeal to every player. It's okay. It's okay to let other people like things that you don't like. So, like, if they untap and clear my board, I get to untap and Aziztal and kill them. I think the one I played yesterday is definitely better against a diverse field, but Disinformation Campaign is better against Control Decks for sure. Put these to Tito's. I got a promotion at... Put these Tito's / I got a promotion at work towards Dealer's Choice. Well, congrats, Manatide, and thanks for sharing the love. I appreciate all the support you've given here. Alright, so they are very dead. Oh, tell me that you're dead, that you're really, really dead. Oh, tell me that you're dead, that you're really, really dead. You're dead-a, 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 dead. We have this extra shock here. Have this extra shock here. Someone asked how much longer on this deck. We've been playing this for almost an hour, so we got probably 2 or 3 more matches before we roll on to Bant Fog. I'm gonna fix the sideboard. I want to change the sideboard. Cancel. All right, we got out here. Get out of there, in fact, in time. Oop, edit. I'm pretty happy with the main deck. I think these Banefires are some hot nonsense. I think not playing 4 Lava Coils a miss. I just love that card in this format right now. And I don't really know what else I want in this sideboard, honestly. Like, I don't want any more cards for control. I don't want more cards for control. Actually, put my bits towards boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room, Hoagland cover. Yeah, just like an extra shock might be fine, honestly. I like that idea. Just like an extra card for the aggro decks. Oh, Fight with Fire. I like that idea a lot, actually. Just a way to kill Lyra. A way to kill Lyra sounds excellent. Let's do that. That's a great way to make suggestions. What's a problem that we have? Lyra's a problem. How do we fix it? Play Fight with Fire. Like that. Look at that. Problem solution deck building. A+ way to approach it. The last time we kept this hand, our hand was caught in the cookie jar. This time, however, we're doing just fine. Play your Wild Growth Walker. Come on. There you go. There you go. Who's a good little Wild Growth Walker? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Such a good little Wild Growth Walker. Zap! Cast Lightning Bolt. What's the problem we have? Losing. I don't like losing. Losing isn't fun. Who's ready? Who's ready to dumpster them next turn, chat? Venega boys. Ranked best of 3 is actually happening starting Thursday, I believe. So we'll be able to do that then. Oh, baby. One burn spell, please. One burn spell, please. Yikes. Come on. 1 mana burn spell. Can I get a burn spell? Tilt. Thunk, thunk. We haven't gotten any news on Direct Challenge Best of 3. I really hope that happens soon. When they add, if they add Direct Challenge Best of 3, I think I'm gonna try and coordinate some sub-only tournaments. I think that could be fun. Give up, like, some swag and some prizes for the deck queue, stuff like that. So hopefully that comes sometime soon. So I think I'm supposed to bring in Lava Coils and cut the Lava Runners, especially on the draw. I think this card gets brick walled a lot of the time, and Lava Coil is like really important. You have to kill Wild Growth Walker, right? Yeah. I don't think I want any of these other things. Maybe Experimental Frenzy is good. Merfolk Trickster like also gets brick walled, but this card like also could like tap a blocker, which is nice. I think Ferocodon should be unbanned. I don't know. The format's just really good without it, so I'm not sure that we really need to fix anything. This hand's just not good enough, right? Wild Growth Walker, Texas Ranger. This hand, like, sneeped for the memes. This hand's much better. Perfect. Get to do something on 1. Yikes. Want to buy better divinations. Yeah, you can name creature types not in your deck with territory. It just prefers them. It just like auto-populates them. I'm gonna take a risk here because if I don't hit a mountain, we're gonna die anyways. Perfect. I think I just bin the backup one of these. Trickster's kind of mediocre. Let's bin Trickster. Let's shock this just in case there's a Carnage Tyrant in our future. Yikes. Stumbled a little bit too long there. You're the best streamer ever for muting a mic while eating and drinking. I personally can't stand those sounds. Yeah, it's really simple, right? Like, I'm never talking while I'm eating, so I might as well mute. No, I've not played with Vanathir in Modern. Seems really slow and clunky. Sounds like a bad Modern deck people will win against other bad Modern decks with and conclude that it's worth playing. I think this is in the range of keepable. I'm going to lead on Sulfur Falls here so I can play this on 2 potentially. Or double up, maybe. How dead should this elf be? Please make Vanathir and Modern a thing so I can dumpster people with it. In fact, spoken like a real Modern player. Have a sword, by the way. Your shield was looking a little naked there. Yeah, it's probably lots of fun. Lots of bad things are fun. That's how Magic works. I mean, this stream is kind of a testament to the fact that bad things are fun, right? Haha, you've activated my trap card. So, neither of us have anything going on right now, which definitely favors my opponent. We're the beatdown in this matchup, so having nothing in play is bad for us. So, Intilfcom, just as like a heads up, if you didn't have a sub icon there, I'd probably give you a timeout for that message. If you want to critique a deck that we're playing, you need to be constructive and specific. Help people learn. Don't just like put down decks that people have built. So if you think that a deck is bad, talk about why you think it's bad. What is it doing that's not worthwhile or is worse than something else that's similar? I do 1 Magic Online League every single morning to start the day. So we play one Modern or Legacy deck every day, and then the rest of my day is Arena. It's probably worth keeping. Probably just have too much pressure to race at this point. What does the shovel mean? The shovel means that you are one of the hardworking lower level grunts in Hoaglandia, helping build our great nation to be what it is today. When you're testing a deck, how do you know if you're just getting bad draws or if the deck is actually bad? Well, so a really good Magic player once put it, being good at Magic is about being able to extrapolate meaningful things from statistically irrelevant sample sizes. And the actual answer at the end of the day is just practice. There's no substitute for experience with Magic the Gathering. You can't just skip the hard work through practice. So good players are going to be able to draw more reasonable conclusions with less practice. And everybody needs practice. No, it's very difficult to just look at something and say, this is definitely bad or this is definitely good a lot of the time. And like every new set season is just a great reminder of that, right? Like even when I went through and looked at a bunch of the cards in this new set, like there were a number of cards that are incredibly powerful. Once I played with them, it was easy to see that they were good and how they mesh with other things in the format. But just reading them on a spoiler page, it was very easy to miss them or write them off. Howdy, HW. Good morning. Yeah, the Gates is a great example. In fact, I had someone ask me if I'd do a Gates build around, and my exact words were, I don't think these payoffs are good enough, so I'm not going to take this. And I was very, very wrong. The Gates payoffs are super reasonable. What's going on, Sheriff? Thanks for dropping in today. My opponent did nothing and then conceded, so I'm gonna go ahead and submit. Yay, magic! You're truly the villain for enjoying Bat Nexus. You're not even like a terrible villain, right? Like, Bat Nexus isn't even KCI bad where it's really good. Nexus is like, fine, but it's not overpowered. Yeah, I agree. I think people expected Hydroid to be playable, but it's just very powerful. I think most, especially people who have been playing Magic for a long time, looked at Hydroid crates and were like, this is worse than Sphinx's Revelation because it's only half X, but the fact that it can't be countered and that it leaves a body behind is huge. I don't think we have any of the details for the best of 3 ladder as of yet. I don't think they posted anything. If they have posted something public about how the best of 3 ladder is going to work, feel free to link a source in chat, folks. Links are enabled. The rules for links are very simple. If you act like an adult, you'll be treated like an adult. If you act like a child, you'll be treated like a child. So only post relevant Magic-related links. Cite your sources. I mean, well, I've got 11 in my hand, so I need to make up 9 points here. Yeah, we played the 4-color Gates deck for almost 2 hours yesterday. It's up on my website, my YouTube channel now. I love this chat. Well, thanks for helping keep us around, Manatithe. I appreciate the biddies. You were probably time out, Enzo's, because you kept reposting the same question after I had addressed you. So if you're gonna take the time to post a question in chat, I'm pretty responsive. I'd recommend paying attention for like what I'm saying. So. All right, well there goes 5 of my 11 points on this thing. Definitely a matchup where we want our copies of Lava Coil. Is it good enough for a true burn deck in Cinder right now, like with all spells? There's a red-black burn deck that's mostly spells, but still plays cards like Viashino Pyromancer and stuff like that, because they're creatures that are basically also burn spells. So they're a little bit flexible, which is nice. They have a Crackling Drake here. We're probably just brick-walled, or just like any other Drake. They have like a dive down here. We're just gonna get conceded. Get some Lava Coils in my deck. Yep. Do you enjoy Vintage? I'm not Vintage. Playing Vintage is like playing Goblin Charbelcher. It's like fun to blast off on occasion, but I don't really think it creates like what I would consider quality games of Magic. It's also an incredibly high variance format, the way the reserve list works. The reserve list removes a lot of consistency from the decks, which makes it kind of frustrating at times. What is Modern? So Modern is a non-rotating format, so basically it has a starting point that's about 17 or 18 years ago in Magic's history at this point, and it just gets bigger as more sets are printed. Magic is what we refer to as a rotating format, where whenever a 9th set would be added, the oldest 4 rotate out. Need 2 more cuts here. I guess Lightning Strike's probably not great. I guess I'll just trim those. Hey, we had a $10 tip there from Snacks. Thank you very much for that. I love your streams. Your interaction is great. Just a good broadcaster overall. Well, thanks for the tip, Snacks. Snacks, you should drop me a DM on Twitch after you take a look at the deck queue and let me know which deck in the queue you'd like to move up. Whenever people donate, I always encourage them to do that because the people who keep me employed here, I'd like them to be able to pick what we play. So thanks for keeping me around. Someone asked a Linux question. What's your preferred Linux desktop? I use XFCE on my work system. XFCE or Enlightenment are usually my preferred, although KDE is a third choice. A little bit heavy though. Given that you stream 40 plus hours a week, would you play Arena in your spare time on a table following up? You mean on a tablet? Is that supposed to be tablet instead of table? Yeah, definitely. Actually, so I took 2 days off over the weekend, And I definitely played like 3 matches of Arena over the weekend while I wasn't streaming just to like get my fix. What do I mean by heavy? KDE uses more system resources than XFCE does. And like my computer's not like shabby. Like I've got an i7 4700K with like a GTX 1080 and 32 gigs of RAM. But I just like my desktop to be as trim as possible to leave more system resources for the rest of my applications. I think I missed some questions in there. Yeah, someone should, can a mod create a comment explaining Modern? There's definitely a lot of new Magic players coming in, which is awesome, and that's a common question. That's a good idea. Hey, Forge. Well, if you're a resub, Forge, make sure you send the notification through. Twitch gives you a chance to send a message with it. And thanks for re-upping. 32 gigs, what is this, 2016? I only need 32, okay? I don't need more than that. Are there any reasons besides system resource that you choose XFCE? No, not really. I can pretty much emulate my desired workflow in any of the major Linux desktops, because they're all pretty flexible and customizable. XFCE is just like a small amount of frills and functional for what I need. Yeah, Enlightenment has a tilling module, and I've used some of the dedicated tilling modules before, but I'm just like not a fan of that. Free floating windows are fine, and just like side snapping windows to left or right is enough tiling for my needs. Hey, Esper Mage, thanks for the 2-month resub. Welcome back, I appreciate it. Perfect, Trey, you rock. Can we pay you in RAM? I don't see why not. Hey, Relative Absolute, thanks for re-upping for the 2nd month in a row. Welcome back. If I were to change Modern, what would I do to make it better? I think I would take Modern in one of 2 directions. I would either gut the format and make it slower and fairer, or I would unban a bunch of stuff that's less degenerate than the stuff that's currently playable in the format. So you either unban Stoneforge Mystic, Splinter Twin, Birthing Pod, Green Sun Zenith, or you go in and you ban Faithless Looting, KCI, Mox Opal, Ancient Stirrings, like all those cards that are just like kind of obnoxious. You either ban a bunch or unban a bunch is what I would do. I think I'm actually just gonna chart a course here, just like I have the extra land. Which direction is better? I think unbanning a bunch would make more people happy, so that's probably the direction I'd go. Because at the end of the day, Magic's a game people play for fun, right? So like having more decks that people could play would make more people happy. Yeah, KCI is banned. I included KCI in there for habit's sake. KCI is gone. You are correct. But KCI is just like, KCI is a symptom of what Modern is. Banning it doesn't change anything. It's very important. KCI is not the cause. It's a symptom. They probably have a dive down here, and I'm at 20, so I'm not going to try and kill this turn. I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. I think no banless Modern sounds really silly. There are a number of cards like Skull Clamp and Chrome Mox and Rite of Flame that can and should stay banned. Alright, let's sit down for a bit, enjoy the ride. If they try to shock my Cinder Wind, I can Lightning Strike them in response to save her with the trigger, which is nice. Ugh. upstairs. How'd you feel about Esper midrange yesterday? It was pretty reasonable. Had a lot of good things going on. Elf glimpse clamp in my life. I assume I'm losing both my creatures here, huh? Otherwise they would have lava coiled Cinder Wind. Ooh. He probably did here. I guess I should leave that untapped, actually. Okay. All right. We're cooking with gas here. That was step one to being in this game, was remove the lethal Drake. All right, if they don't have a dive down here, we might have a chance. Take a chance on me. You know, I probably, well, I am dead on board. I'm not dead to known information, but I am dead on board. They have a dive down. We are gonna die. Yeah, I should upkeep this, because this way, if they drew the dive down for the turn, I'm dead now. Correct, full on tilt. People are just silly. All right, 2 shots to the lava coil. Yeah, good games, opponent. Yeah, I feel like, so let's talk about what this deck is doing before we move along. So we've played some iterations of blue-red wizards like this in the past. And the conclusion we came to every time we played it previously was that it just felt like a worse version of both, like, what Drake's was doing and what Mono Red is doing. Like, this deck's basically trying to, like, meet in the middle between those two archetypes, right? Like, it's a little bit smaller than Drake's, and it's a little bit bigger than Mono Red. And I think that ends up still just being the place that this falls into. Light up the stage, and it feels like it did add a little bit of power to what this deck is doing, but Mono Red, by the same merit, also gets this card and becomes more powerful as well, and Drake's also got new tools. So I think if you really want to play Wizard Synergy, something like this feels close to reasonable, but I think from a pure competitive standpoint, this deck probably just falls short as a middling version between Mono Red and Blue Red Drakes that doesn't quite have the power level of either.